Hello, welcome back to the Football Heritage. We're back again today. We will be looking at the weekend preview. There are a lot of games in the Premier League, the La Liga this weekend, and Chelsea can go top of the Premier League if they win at Goodison Park against Everton in the early kickoff tomorrow. So many games. In the Serie A, AC Milan won earlier today. One goes to nothing. So I have with me Vabwe, People Inzaki, Filippo Inzaki in the house, and so many games for the weekend. And the first game we're going to start with will be the Aston Villa and Man City game. Aston Villa will be playing Man City in the early kickoff tomorrow. And Man City, they are terrible right now. And their last 11 games in all competition, they have won only one of their last 11 games in all competition. And they have lost 8 of those 11 games. 8 defeats in 11 matches. I have never seen this before for a defending champion to be this bad, for a defending champion to be this terrible. I have never seen this before, and this is why I always say to people, Pep Guardiola is a good coach, but he is overrated. And as you can see, the entire world is watching as Man City crumble. Every week, they crumble. Last Sunday, 2 minutes to go in a Premier League game against Manchester United, and they capitulated. And this has been happening for the past 2 months. Pep Guardiola doesn't know what to do. He is struggling, and there are reports that he has lost the dressing room currently because he has never been in this position before. Jose Mourinho won the Champions League with FC Porto, and a coach like Ferguson won European trophy with Aberdeen. And he won so many Premier League with a lot of average players doing his days at Manchester United, particularly 2013, his last Premier League title. But Guardiola, he is struggling right now. And tomorrow game against Aston Villa, it's going to be a very difficult match. There are like 5 meetings in all competition between Aston Villa and Manchester City. Man City have the edge. They have won 3 of their last 5 meetings with Aston Villa. They lost 1, they draw 1. But City last 5 games in the Premier League, they won 1, lost 3, draw 1. And as for Aston Villa, the last 5 games in the Premier League, they won 2, they lost 2, they draw 1. So, both teams currently, they are not in good form. But Villa Park is a difficult place to go. A lot of teams, particularly the top 6, they don't get result at Villa Park easily. So tomorrow, it's going to be a very, very difficult game for Manchester City tomorrow. And City, they have so many problems, particularly the middle of the park and goal scoring issues. If you look at the current City midfield, Bernardo Silva, he's in his 30s. Ike Godogan, he's in his 30s. Kevin De Bruyne, he's in his 30s. And Kevin De Bruyne also in his 30s. And Kovacic is also in his 30s. And when you go up front, they are not scoring freely like before. If Erling Haaland doesn't score, you barely see any other foul player scoring. Even Gavadio, their center defender, sometimes he plays left back. He has more goals than Jeremy Doku and Savio combined. Savio has scored 0 goals so far in all competition. 0 goals, that's not good enough. Jeremy Doku is not scoring enough. So this is where they are. So Philippo Inzaghi, let me come to you. Tomorrow, City, they are going to Villa Park, the first game in the Premier League tomorrow. How do you look at that game tomorrow?
Well, I would like to thank all those who watch you all tonight. I'm very happy for giving me the opinion to discuss tonight. Tomorrow game between Aston Villa and Manchester City. We all know that both teams they are not in good form, but the game is an open game for the both teams. Aston Villa need 3 points because they want to go in front. They want to take another step. And Manchester City is also need a point. So the game will be an open game for the both teams. Now, Pep Guardiola, maybe what will be good for him tomorrow, I think he will try to put some on the old, those who are aging, like either Gudogan need to go on bench tomorrow. Let him be on bench tomorrow, so he try to give some of the young player the chances at Kovacic and Luis and Kevin De Bruyne. If they come in the middle, I believe that they can pull off a good grade tomorrow. But if not so, they continue to use the same team that play against Manchester City last time. They're not going to make it with Aston Villa. And Aston Villa need point now because they are beyond one another. You see? So
Inzaghi, looking at Pep Guardiola, he has never been in this situation before, losing 8 in 11 games. He has never been to this kind of situation before. He has never struggled before. He always have the best players in the world, and now he's struggling. So do you think Pep Guardiola can turn it over? Can do the turnaround this season? Can he turn the season around?
I think he needs some player. He need to, since January is coming, he need to buy some player. Or else if you continue with the old team, the player they are tired now. For 4 consecutive years they've been playing. They play together, they have that experience, they get used to each other now. But now Premier League is a very difficult game. This thing we've been doing, it's not been happening before, but taking Premier League 4 times in a row. It take long time. Maybe it used to happen before, but by this time, doing it. Since I've been observing football game.
So Inzaghi,
it's not.
what's your prediction? What's your prediction for the game tomorrow?
My prediction is 2-1.
2-1 to who?
Manchester City 2, Aston Villa 1.
All right, Inzaghi. Thank you for that. Mr. Corner, let me come to you tomorrow. First game of the Premier League tomorrow is at Villa Park. Aston Villa entertain Manchester City. Aston Villa, they too, they are struggling for form. Their last 5 games, they have won 2, lost 2, and 1 draw. But for City, on the other hand, they have won 1 in the Premier League for the past month. In the last 5 games, just that 1 victory, 3 defeats, and 1 draw. And a lot of games this season, they will go in front, and the last 15, 20 minutes, they capitulate. Like they did against Brighton. The last 15 minutes, they were up 1-0. They lost the game 2-1. Final in the Champions League, 3-0. The last 20 minutes, they drew 3-3. Again, Manchester United, they were 1 goal up to the 85th minute. They lost 2-1. So what's your take for the game tomorrow?
I want to say good afternoon to all of our listeners. Well, we should um, good afternoon to good evening to my brother Izaki.
Thank you.
Man City problem very clear and simple. All right, we have said this time after time. Um, the team struggling it's nothing strange. This is a team that have been playing brilliant football. They won so many trophies over the last 5 seasons, and they did that in succession. You know, they fought hard with the Champion League. They went to so many quarterfinals, semifinals, and they got knocked out. And they still managed to win one Champion League as well. So it's kind of clear that the team have been overused. Pep didn't do a homework doing a transfer market. He should have done major reshuffling, changed a lot of players, bringing a lot of backups before the start of the season. You know, so Aston Villa is a struggling team. They've been struggling in form, but mind you, they're playing at home. All right, they're playing at home, and City been struggling a lot in the last couple minutes to the end of the game. You just mentioned some of the game that they struggles um, in the down minute of the game where they had a game in hand, and then all of a sudden they just it just slip away from them. So it probably going to be the same thing tomorrow. Aston Villa on the other side fighting to come out, fighting to maintain uh, their position on the table. They want to be in actually they're already in Champion League. They're playing Champion League football this season, so they want to maintain that spot, and they've been struggling. So it's a tricky match for both of them. But for Aston Villa, they're not a big team as compared to Man City. Man City is the one that need to get out of um, the dreadful performance of the team. They need to get out of it. They need to do that now in order to save their season. So Aston Villa they may lose that game. It's not a big deal for them. But if Man City loss is going to be, it's just going to add up to the frustration. It's going to add up. Um, Psychologically, the team is affected right now. So every negative result that come Man City way is going to affect them. It's just going to add up to um, they are struggling. Their bad time in the season is going to add up to everything. I was just looking at the list, and I know Johnston is back, but I think Diaz is out on an injury list. I was looking at it. I don't know how serious late. Maybe he's doubtful. But again, this is Johnston he was crying about. The Man City coach was crying about. He's one of the players that's absent. Kovacic is back. He's going to be starting that game tomorrow. Um, he's a brilliant player. He's a creative midfielder. But what I do believe with Man City's situation, it's not about individual. It's not about one player right now. If you got like 4 to 5 players on the team that's aging, that drop form, that's suffering from fatigue. How can one person change that you know that course of the team, or to determine the strength of the team? How can one person, how can an individual do that? This is a question we're asking. All right. Ikanji is not there. Stone is back. He's one of the outstanding. He been one of the outstanding players for Man City over the past season. But will Stone alone change, or Kovacic alone change the team performance? He's not going to be all around the field running around. Remember the team they're going to. They are one of the tough side in the Barclays Premier League. Aston Villa. When they are playing their best game, when they are at their best, they're not easy to contend with. All right, so that game is going to be a tricky match for Aston Villa, both for Aston Villa and Man City. Man City being in a terrible form. They don't have too many chances of winning that game tomorrow because of their performances over the past 10 games. They might try to get back on winning way, and they need that because their season need to be safe. All right. So they just need to keep focus, do what it usually does, possess the ball, create a lot of chances to try to score goals, and defend as well. It been a major problem this season. When they score, they can't defend. And if you can't defend the goal you score, how can you win? All right? How can you win? So it's a terrible situation for Man City. Aston Villa is not in that kind of position because they're not a big side. They might lose again. People will say, "Oh yeah, Man City is bigger than Arsenal." But if Man City lost, it just add up to that frustration. All right. So this is the time for them to save their season. This is the time for Pep Guardiola to save his season. We're not far from January. January will be here soon. You can do some reshuffling, try to bring players that will fit that gap. But if you can't do that, um, if you get almost like 18 points between you and the league leader, you're done. You're done for the season. All right. So my prediction for that game tomorrow, I go for draw, and it's gonna be uh 2-2.
2 draw. But let me ask you the last question. Because for the past few seasons, City, they usually come from behind to win the Premier League, especially around the December time. They pull a lot of wins together to go on top of the Premier League table. This season, do you think City can turn it around?
When it comes to that, we know they have an incredible record over the past season, but it had never been what is happening right now. All right, this had never happened to go like 10 games or 11 games with one win with the points gap. I have never seen that. If this happened this season, it will be a miracle. City need a miracle to turn that season, around by winning the Premiership. If they can't do, if no miracle going to work for them this season, I don't see them winning it, and they need miracle to do that. It's a different season. You got so many. You got um, so many clubs this season are playing brilliantly. It's not only Liverpool and Arsenal. You got Chelsea. Chelsea is contending as well. All right. Chelsea is fighting. So I don't think they can turn this season around. If the only best option for Man City this season is to qualify for the Champions League. But winning the Premier League, no, I think they're out. If they do that, you know, if they do that, it got to be a miracle. City need a miracle to win the Premier League this season.
All right. Thank you very much. For me, that game tomorrow will be a very difficult game, especially both teams they are struggling. But the problem with City, they cannot defend at all. A 2 minute pressure, City will crumble. and looking at Aston Villa at Villa Park with Emery in charge. He's one of the best coaches out there when it comes to tactics. I think Aston Villa are going to win 2-1. That's my prediction for this game. Aston Villa 2, City 1. So we move on to the next game. Crystal Palace will be at home to Arsenal. Both teams play each other on Wednesday in the Carabao Cup. Arsenal won 3-2. But tomorrow is all about the Premier League. And Palace, they are a team that is very difficult to break down, especially at home. They give every team a good game on their stadium. And Palace and Arsenal, they allow 5 meetings. Arsenal have the edge. They have won 4 out of their last 5 meetings in the Premier League with Palace. Palace with just 1 win. And Palace last 5 Premier League games, they won 2, they draw 3. So their last 5 games in the Premier League, 0 defeat for Palace. Arsenal, on the other hand, their last 5 Premier League games, they also have 0 defeat, 2 draws with 3 wins. Tomorrow at Selhurst Park, it's going to be a difficult game for Arsenal, even though a lot of Arsenal, this is the problem with Arsenal fan, right? Like, they won 3-2. They've been crying for Scraggle, but they said it's the resurrection of Jesus. So in English, Jesus, the resurrection of Jesus. Because Jesus scored a hat trick. So now, they will not put any pressure to get new striker for January transfer window. I listened to a lot of them after that game that they don't need striker. Jesus should start ahead of Kai Havertz. That's the Carabao Cup, for God's sake. The guy didn't score a hat trick in the Champions League or the Premier League. Score a hat trick in a Carabao Cup game. Then they say he has resurrected. This is a guy who said he joined Arsenal. He has scored only 15 goals in the Premier League since he joined Arsenal. 15 goals in the Premier League, Gabriel Jesus. But scoring hat trick in a Carabao Cup, he has resurrected, being the second highest paid player on Arsenal. Second to Kai Havertz. Both of them cost Arsenal £110 million. But they have performed below par. But yet, a lot of Arsenal fans, after that hat trick, they don't want a striker again. And again, on tomorrow, it's going to be a very, very difficult match at Selhurst Park. As you saw the Carabao Cup game, for me, I think that game going to be a draw game tomorrow. But let me come to you, Inzaghi. Arsenal play tomorrow. They are 6 points below Liverpool, 4 points below Chelsea. And they play one more game than Liverpool. They have drawn their last 2 Premier League games against Fulham and against Everton. Tomorrow they play Crystal Palace. What's your take on that game? You muted.
Arsenal is going to be 1-0. Hello?
Why you think Arsenal going to win 1-0? Inzaghi, you hearing me?
I get you, yeah.
Yeah, asking you, why you think Arsenal going to win 1-0? Why?
Because the pressure is on them now. So they need point tomorrow to close gap.
Okay. All right, thank you. Let me come to Mr. Cornell. Arsenal play tomorrow. Gabriel Jesus, as I said earlier, scored a hat trick Wednesday in the Carabao Cup. And a lot of Arsenal fans, they are super excited. Like Gabriel Jesus is a new signing. He has resurrected. This guy has scored 15 goals in the Premier League since he joined Arsenal Football Club. And he has been terrible second highest paid player on the team behind Kai Havertz, but yet he has managed to score only 15 goals in the Premier League. And tomorrow they play Crystal Palace. Palace last 5 games, they have not lost. They draw 3, they won 2. Arsenal, they won 3, they draw 2. So what's your take on that game tomorrow?
Well, the first thing, if people try to judge the result of a Colorado Cup match based on somebody performing and scoring goals, and then you try to judge the Premier League based on the Carabao Cup match result, you'll be making a mistake. All right, the the momentums are different. It's a different tournament. Most of the reserve and bench players are featured in the Carabao Cup most of the time. We see a lot of teams does that. So, having said that, Gabriel Jesus, it was good for him. He scored a hat trick, but that cannot justify what he gonna do in a game against Crystal Palace in the Premier League. The Premier League is a complete different league. It's a different tournament as compared to the Colaba Cup. They won. We saw they won the game. I think it was narrowly won. I don't know. I think 3-2 or something like that. So if you look at the result of that and look at somebody performing in the Colaba Cup, and then you say he's going to carry that um, in the Premier League, good for him. Scoring hard trick in a Colaba Cup is a boost. Scoring hard trick in any competition individual is a good thing for you, especially for him. He been struggling to score goals. Um, it gave him some level of confidence going to the Premier League match against the same team that he just scored hat trick against. All right. Um, you don't know what the coach going to do, his formation, his starting player in the game, the Premier League, because Arsenal is not waiting to trap any points right now to create more gap between the league leader and the second place. If you're a contender, if you're a title contender, you got to keep competing. You got to keep winning again, especially you are at the top level and then seeing yourself dropping points. Other teams are coming as well. All right. So from the Arsenal point of view, they're going to try by all means. They're going to fight to win that game tomorrow because they can't afford to lose that game. All right, it's not a good thing for Arsenal if they drop points, maybe draw or lose that game. It's not a good thing for them. So going to that game, you got to get a game plan. This is a team you're going to that got a lot of physicality. Um, the stadium you're going to is a tough stadium. They got the fan behind them, and then this is their home ground. We saw teams that went to that place this season and they struggled a lot. Man City went there, they struggled. They're in a bad form, but they still struggle. All right. So Arsenal going over there, put all mechanisms into place and get the 3 points. That's what matters to them. And they need to do that. Because if you lost right now, and then Liverpool go and win, and then they got another Arsenal game. You're talking about almost like 12 points gap. That's not good for them. You know, it will be creating another gap between them and Chelsea if Chelsea does won't win again. So you got to they're taking all this into consideration from the Arsenal point of view by going to that game and make sure they get a 3 points tomorrow in order to keep um, competing with the other two teams ahead of them, Liverpool and Chelsea. Crystal Palace, from the Crystal Palace point of view, Crystal Palace just lost a match to Arsenal a couple of days, and then they're going back to play the same Arsenal. So that's what makes it more challenging for Arsenal. They want the revenge. They want to set that record that we lost to them. We cannot allow them to beat us the second time. So we're going to stand our ground and make sure that we win this game, or we get a point from that game. They want something from that game in order to show their fan, their supporter that indeed the game against Arsenal, the Colaba that they lost, it was probably some mistake, and they want to capitalize on those mistakes that were made in order to prove to the people that they can get the job done. So my prediction for that game tomorrow is going to be it's going to be tough. By the end of the day, Arsenal are going to win 2-1.
All right, 2-1 to Arsenal. For me, it's gonna be a very, very difficult game for Arsenal. Palace will want to prove a point tomorrow. And Palace last 5 games, no defeat. And when you look at the 5 teams they play Aston Villa in our run, Newcastle United, Manchester City, Brighton. Those are all difficult games. No easy game in our fixture. Playing Brighton, Newcastle, Aston Villa, and Manchester City. In their last game, they won away at Brighton 3-1. They were impressive in that game, particularly the first half for me. I think that game is a draw game, 1-all. That's my prediction. Palace 1, Arsenal 1. So we move on to the next game. Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid in La Liga. Barcelona, they have the opportunity to go 3 point clear of La Liga tomorrow. Atletico Madrid also have the opportunity to go 3 points clear too, because both teams are level on points. And Atletico Madrid, their last few meetings with Barcelona, they have been terrible. They have been abysmal. They lost their last 5 games against Barcelona in La Liga. Their last 5 meetings with Barcelona in La Liga, 0 victory, 5 defeats. But we are talking about the current form. Those 5 games are in the past. Barcelona last 5 games in La Liga, they have won one, just one win against Mallorca. They lost 2, they draw 2. Atletico Madrid, on the other hand, their last 5 games in La Liga, they won all 5. 0 defeat, 0 draw. 5 straight victory. And Atletico Madrid, they are the most informed team in Europe right now. They have won 11 consecutive games. No team in the top 5 league right now that have won 11 consecutive games in all competition. Only Atletico Madrid. 11 straight victory. They are in form, level on point, second place, level on point with Barcelona. Filippo Inzaghi,
Yeah.
what's your take on that game tomorrow? Atletico Madrid and Barcelona.
Tomorrow game is going to be a difficult game for the both teams. The game is difficult and also open. It's an open match for both teams because Barcelona need 3 points, Atletico Madrid need 3 points. But when you look at the record, that's what I was saying just now. They have their last 5 games when playing. Barcelona beat them. Barcelona beat them all. Even last season, Barcelona beat them both went away. Barcelona beat them. But now we're looking at Barcelona is still struggling. They're struggling for now. For their last few games, they are now very impressive. They've been beating them. At the same time they draw. Since they beat Real Madrid the last time, they are not really performing. And now they want to come different way tomorrow. Now they want to come different spirit tomorrow to win the game tomorrow. See? So now, what am I looking at? Actually, the game is in their hand tomorrow because they want to go ahead of Atletico Madrid. Because now the pressure is on them too because they are not been performing. So what I'm seeing, they are going to be tomorrow.
What's your prediction
My prediction is 3-1.
to Barcelona?
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Inzaghi. Mr. Corner, let me come to you tomorrow. Barcelona entertain Atletico Madrid. Battle for top spot. Both teams have equal points, and Barcelona last 5 games in La Liga, they have one win in their last 5 games. Atletico Madrid, they have won all their last 5 games in La Liga, and they are the most informed team in Europe. They have won 11 consecutive games. Tomorrow they have the opportunity to be first place. What's your take on that game?
Well, it's going to be the game of the weekend from my own point of view. Barcelona, they struggling of recent. They started the season brilliantly, and then in La Liga of recent, they've been dropping so many points, drawing games, um, losing to smaller side. And one thing about Barcelona this season against the bigger side, they kind of been so strong. I think they just playing for those games and say, "Oh, this is a tough game. We got to win it. They're our main, one of our main opponent. We got to fight hard to win them and be in a title race." But the inconsistency of Barcelona of recent is kind of scaring. It's kind of alarming. And on the other hand, on the other side, from the Atletico Madrid point of view, they've been outstanding. They've been winning games after games um, in Europe, like you said, and also in La Liga. You know, they struggle. Like I saw the game against, I think it was Sevilla. Sevilla was up front 3-1 against Atletico Madrid. And that game, Atletico Madrid turned that game around and went on to win that game 4-3. I saw they kind of work rate those guys put, the guy put out I don't even know. It was so entertaining. They kept on going, you know. I think they're trying to adapt the style of Real Madrid that even if you die, just get that belief that, at the end of the day, we're going to win. Because I saw that against Sevilla. The coach kept on motivating his players, and the players kept on encouraging each other until the final whistle. When they got the last goal, it was late for Sevilla to come back. So that game is going to be a very tough one for both sides. Because if you look at the record against Barcelona against Atletico Madrid, it's been awful for Atletico Madrid. They are not doing. They have been kind of falling behind all the time. They meet Madrid, Barcelona, and they kind of lost to Barcelona, and they go to other tough side. They pull us fight, but when it comes to Barcelona, they always lost into them. But I do believe this time around is going to be different because Atletico Madrid want to keep their 100% record this season. They kind of found the end. They scoring goals, they winning game. They want to show that to the world that they can do it. And it's a chance for for Atletico Madrid to go on top of the league table for the very first time this season. They do have that chance right now. Tomorrow they got a chance. If they win, they go on top of the table. All right. So I do get my prediction in favor of Atletico Madrid to win again 2-1. It's going to be a tough one by the end of the day with the outstanding performances of Atletico Madrid this season and the inconsistencies of Barcelona. No matter what they do, they've been pulling the show. They pull out a fight against Bayern Munich, against Real Madrid, against Borussia Dortmund. But this is Atletico Madrid we're talking about. This is a complete physical team, and you got a lot of kids in our team, the Barcelona team. It's a complete physical team we're talking about. So I give my prediction to Atletico Madrid 2-1. And I believe that there's no way Barcelona can pull out a show against Atletico Madrid because that team is a complete a complete team this season.
All right. Thank you very much. For me, that game tomorrow, it's gonna be a hard game because, but as you said earlier, Barcelona they remind me of the Liverpool team in the early 2000. That Liverpool team, big games, they always used to play hard. When they meet Arsenal, Manchester United, Chelsea, those games used to be very difficult. It's gonna be hard tomorrow for Atletico Madrid. Their record in for the past 3 years is abysmal against Barcelona. But current form, 11 consecutive win is not an easy thing to do. Winning 11 games straight is very difficult to do. You have to be in good form to do that. That's a title winning form, to win 11 straight games. It will be difficult, but Atletico Madrid, they're going to be very physical. I don't think Barcelona will cope with their physicality. So for me, Atletico Madrid, there will be goals in the game. So Atletico Madrid going to win 3-2. For me, 3-2 to Atletico Madrid. And Inzaghi, we're just going to predict the rest of the other game. We're going into it in detail before the rest of Saturday games. What's your prediction for Brentford versus Nottingham Forest? Inzaghi, what's your
1-1.
Brentford and Nottingham Forest 1-1?
Yeah.
What about Ipswich and Newcastle?
Newcastle. 2-1.
What's your prediction? 2-1 to Newcastle?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your prediction for West Ham United versus Brighton?
Brighton. 2-2.
2-2. West Ham Brighton 2-2. All right. Mr. Colin, let me ask you for your prediction for the rest of the game. What's your prediction for Brentford versus Nottingham Forest?
I give that to Forest. 1-0.
1-0 to Forest. For me, it's going to be a 2-1 win to Brentford. So what's your prediction for Ipswich versus Newcastle?
Newcastle 3-1.
3-1 to Newcastle. For me, 2-1 to Newcastle. What's your prediction West Ham United versus Brighton?
Brighton 2-1 in favor of Brighton.
2-1 in favor of Brighton. For me, it's going to be a 1-1 draw. So we move on to Sunday. There are a lot of games Sunday. Chelsea, they will have the opportunity. They play the first game Sunday. They will have the opportunity to go 1 point top of the Premier League because Liverpool will be playing after the Manchester United game. Chelsea and Everton, their last 5 meeting in the Premier League. Chelsea 2 win, Everton 2 win, 1 draw. So the two teams, their last 5 games, Chelsea won 2, Everton won 2, 1 draw. So the record is tied when it comes to the last 5 meetings in the Premier League. But Chelsea, they are the most informed team in the Premier League. They have won their last 5 games in the Premier League. 5 victories in a row. And for Everton, they are struggling. Their last 5 games, they won only 1, but they have drawn 3 and lost 1. So, and Everton, their last 5 games in the Premier League, they only consider in 1 of their last 5 games in the Premier League. They have had 3-0-0 draw in our 5 games, and they won 4-0 and they lost 4-0. So they have kept 4 clean sheets in their last 5 Premier League games. So especially the last game at the Emirates, drawing 0-0 at Arsenal was not an easy game. So Inzaghi coming into the game, looking at Everton, they don't score, and Chelsea, they have won 5 games in a row in the Premier League. What's your take on the game on Sunday?
I mean, it's not going to be a tough game. Chelsea going to take the 3 points from Everton because now Chelsea is in the race now. Chelsea they are getting more players for the game. They're getting more spirit for the game because all the players there now they are really fit and they complete for 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 doing something this season.
What's your
Even though
prediction, Izaki?
my prediction is 2-0.
2-0 to Chelsea?
Yeah, in favor of Chelsea.
All right, thank you very much, Izaki. Mr. Connell, let me come to you. Um, Looking at the game tomorrow, Sunday, excuse me. Chelsea, the most informed team in the Premier League, 5 consecutive victory in the Premier League. They are flying. They are scoring a lot of goals, even though defensively, that's their major problem, Chelsea. And for Everton, on the other hand, they are struggling, but they are not conceding and they are not scoring. Their last 5 Premier League games, they only conceded in one, the 4-0 loss at Manchester United, 3-0 draw, and 1-4 win. So they have scored 4 goals in their last 5 games and conceded 4 goals also. They are not scoring, and they have one of the best defense in the Premier League this season. So what's your take on that game? You're muted.
That game's a tricky one for Chelsea. You just said it. Chelsea is in a very good form. They're scoring goals. They're winning games. Um, but on the other hand, they're also conceding goals. All right. It's a chance for Chelsea to go on top of the league table for so long. Not only this season, but I think the past 3 seasons or something like that for Chelsea to be on top of the table. It's going to be the very first time. So that game is going to be like a final to Chelsea on Sunday. Um, they scoring goals. They having a very good run, um, and I think they are gained a lot of confidence with those results. The kind of number of games that they have won in succession. It gave the Chelsea team so much confidence that going to that game. I seen Sarah's interview from Chelsea player, the manager. They said they're not ready for title. They're not a title contender. It's a strategy from the manager. Your performances says it all. You're winning games. You was somewhere around fourth, fifth, sixth place. You kept on coming, and now you're about to top the league for the very first time. How can you say that you're not a title contender? It's just a strategy. Nevertheless, it's a game plan, it's a season plan. Um, you said it last week, and it is all true. With the amount of money that have been invested into the current Chelsea team, winning the Premier League or going on top of the table shouldn't be anything strange to people because they spend so much money on our team, and we're seeing the result. They got a very young squad and they got a very big squad. So injury doesn't affect that team in any way right now because you got a lot of players that are capable to come in place of anybody on the starting team and pull out the performance. All right. On the other hand, um, on the other hand, um, Everton with the brilliant defensive record this season, that is going to be challenging for Chelsea. Everton is not scoring too many goals, so I don't expect them to go and score a lot of goals. But they got a very good defensive record. Um, that also can help them tomorrow to pull out a fight or to get something good out of it. So this is not a case where you say Chelsea is just going to go and win because Everton be pulling the fight. If they result with Arsenal, the game with Arsenal was very shocking to a lot of people. All right, at the Emery as well, Arsenal coming going against Everton and couldn't manage to score a goal. That was very shocking. So we could see that tomorrow too. It's possible we could see that tomorrow because they've been doing it. They have done it so many games, and it's this is the time for Chelsea to show that they're ready to fight for the Premiership. They're ready to fight for the title. All right. So my prediction for that game tomorrow, it's not going to be too many goals in that game. My prediction is 2-1 in favor of Chelsea.
For me, that game tomorrow, it will be a difficult match because the Premier League, you cannot overlook anything in the Premier League. But I think the way Chelsea, the way they are playing, and they are scoring a lot of goals, and Everton barely score. You can have the good defense, but particularly the game is at Goodison Park because Goodison Park is a very difficult ground for any team. But I think Chelsea will be too strong for them tomorrow. So 2-0 to Chelsea. That's my prediction. 2-0 to Chelsea. We now move on to the Manchester United game. The second game Sunday, Manchester United entertain Bournemouth at Old Trafford. Man United, there are a lot of drama off the pitch right now concerning homegrown talent Marcus Rashford, who has spent his entire career playing for Manchester United. And he has been dropped twice. He was dropped for the Manchester Derby, and he was also dropped for yesterday's game in the Carabao Cup. And during the press conference of the new manager, Ruben Amorim, they asked a lot of questions before asking the manager about the game. Almost all the questions were about Rashford. And the manager, he's not afraid to drop anybody. And Rashford, he came up on Tuesday that he want a new challenge. And the Manchester United fans, most of the fans, don't want him no more at the football club. And the hierarchies too, they already put him up for sale. And the manager too doesn't want him. So that would be a very easy divorce between Manchester United and Rashford. Because if both parties willing to part ways, it makes it very easy. Coming to the game, Manchester United need to win that game tomorrow. Because if they win that game on Sunday, excuse me, they're going to go a little bit higher up the table. Because if they win, they're going to go above a lot of teams. The last five meetings between Manchester United and Bournemouth, Manchester United won 3, lost 1, and draw 1. But Man United last 5 games in the Premier League, they lost 2 of their last 5 games, won 2, and draw 1. Bournemouth, they won 3, 1 defeat, 1 draw. Izagi, looking at that game tomorrow, what's your take on it? Sunday, excuse me. What's your take? You're muted.
Manchester United are going to be 3-1.
3-1?
Yes.
Okay. People in Zaki. All right, thank you very much. Mr. Connell, let me come to you. Manchester United played Sunday at Old Trafford, and there have been a lot of things going on, particularly concerning Rashford. The manager doesn't want him anymore, and most of the fans too don't want him, and the hierarchy at the club don't want him also, and he himself he's looking for a new challenge. Bournemouth, they are a very difficult team. They have a lot of good players. Anton Semedo, Justin Clover, Ouattara. They have some good players in that team, and they visit Old Trafford Sunday. What's your take on the game?
Um, it's a tough moment for Manchester United. Rashford, Rashford have been so instrumental in that team. I know this season he's done having his best game, and then the team changed a manager. They came a new manager came in, and he can't cope with Rashford attitude. I think that's a major factor of he leaving the team. All right. Um, um, Manchester United is going to be okay without Rashford. No individual is bigger than the team. We have seen greater players that went to those teams and they left, and the team still survived. They still managed to survive without those players that left. All right. Um, Under the new manager, he said it before that they will struggle, they will have some tough time, they will take some defeat. Um, it's a transitional period for the new manager at Manchester United. Those guys trying to get used to him, those guys trying to cope with the system that he came in with. So it's a whole new thing for everybody at Manchester United right now. Bournemouth going to the game. Bournemouth is a tough side this season. We saw Liverpool. I saw Liverpool game with Bournemouth. Liverpool struggle. I know they managed to win that game, but it was a tough one. Those guys got a lot of individual brilliances. They got a couple of guys that are really good on the break. Um, they take some players and very physical. They got pace and all this stuff. All right. But I give the edge to Manchester United because the attitude of what is going on the club. Um, Rashford, his explosion from the team. Um, it motivates other players to to perform because if that can happen to Rashford, then who else is going to sit over there and say, oh, they are a big player or they do that? If they can get rid of Rashford, then what about you? So it's a signal. It's a signal to the rest of the team that they got to do the right thing. I know the attitude of Rashford. It's not only about on the pitch. It's often on the pitch. Something's been going on. He's been doing some stuff that violating the rules and regulation of the team. If you do some of those things, you could get punished for it. All right. So those players, we saw them again, Man City, especially in the second half, going to the last 15 minutes. We saw Man United. That game, it was different. Going to the down minute with no City been struggling, but their game against Tottenham Spurs, yes, was it yesterday? That game
Yes.
as well. All right. When the coach made those substitutions, when he brought in those guys, Kubi, Ahmad, um, one other player, I think he made three substitutions. The
Yes.
game was totally different. And the team was already down 3-0. All right. It's just that defensive wise, they couldn't manage the team better. That's why you see Tottenham still managed to score some goal to they went about to win a game. But the kind of performance Manchester put out that game, it shows that those guys' attitudes continue. I mean, have started to change because I saw those guys chasing. I saw them going after the object. I saw them going after the ball. Before when Man United is playing, as soon as somebody lost the ball, they stand in, they walk in, you know. It was not a case of the game against Tottenham Spurs. It was a complete different game. You know. I know, in the final minute of the game they lost it, but the attitude. And this is how technician managers great players. If you put out a good attitude where you're chasing after the opposing side when you lost the ball, you're not standing, you don't care who lost the ball, you're chasing after it. It's a good sign. It's a very good sign for the team. So I saw that against Tottenham Spurs, and if they um carry the same attitude, the same game plan against Bournemouth, it's obvious that Manchester United they're going to come up victorious in that match. And my prediction for that game is 3-1 because I saw the kind of goals they scored. They're playing a complete running game. The old traditional game of Manchester United is coming back. You know, I hope they can maintain that and keep that up. And if they do that in the Bournemouth game tomorrow, they can win again 3-1.
All right, thank you very much. For me, Rashford, for the past 4 seasons, this guy he had only one good season in the 4th season. Let me just read a stat. This guy, 4 seasons now, he has only been brilliant in one of the 4 seasons. 2021-22 season, this guy played 32 games. He scored 5 goals with 2 assists in all competition. That is very dreadful. 2022-23, 56 games, 30 goals, 9 assists. His best season ever for Manchester United. And 23-24, he played 43 games, he scored only 8 goals, 5 assists. Abysmal. This season, 24 games in all competitions, 7 goals, 3 assists. And one good season, he was given a contract. This guy, he makes 325,000 British pound every week, every Friday. That go to the guy account. That wish a lot of people on earth cannot earn in a year. He makes that every week. Over 400,000 United States dollar every weekend. Today is Friday. He has already received 400 plus thousand United States dollar in his account. But yet, when you watch him play, he doesn't have the hunger. There is no desire. Whenever he lost the ball, he walks around. He doesn't chase back to defend. And if you look at Manchester United, for the past 20 to 25 years, from David Beckham, I'm talking about the wingers, David Beckham, Ryan Giggs, Louis Nani, J.S. Park, all those guys, whenever they used to lose the ball, you will see them running, chasing defender like mad dogs. Because if you don't, you will be off and you will be punished. But this guy, whenever things don't go his way, he will go to a PR team, cry like a baby, and they will put a story out there. But this time around, a new manager is in charge, and he doesn't care about your name, whether you've been on the football club from the age of 5 or 7. He doesn't care. He is looking at your output. Every day you go to training, you give 100%, which is lacking for Marcus Rashford game. You can see it clearly. How on earth can you be making such money, but you don't put in the work? You don't work hard. You and I work. If we go to where we just relax, we don't do our job, we're going to get fired. So why is it that somebody who is privileged to be making over 400,000 United States dollar a week, but doesn't put in the work? Every player can go through bad time. But what is unacceptable is when you don't do the basic. You have to give 100%. You have to give your all for the team. But Rashford doesn't do that. He cried like a baby. Look at Harry Maguire. There is nobody on Manchester United that has received criticism, harsh criticism, equal to Harry Maguire. That guy, he has been through a lot in Manchester United career. The most criticized player in recent time. No player has gone through hell when it comes to criticism. Equal to Maguire. You will never see Maguire going to a PR team. You will never see Harry Maguire crying like a baby. But what is he doing now? And it may surprise you. Maguire, he's one of the first men on that team sheet in Premier League game. You saw him against Manchester City. He pocketed Erling Haaland. And back three suits Maguire game. If you play with a back line of 3 defenders, that's Harry Maguire game. But when you leave him alone exposed, he doesn't have the pace to cover a lot of ground. So, everyone at Manchester United is tired with Rashford behavior. And he has been off. This guy, on an average in Premier League, this guy is averaging less than 10 goals a season. Less than 10 goals a season. That's what he's averaging in the Premier League. Making money that he doesn't deserve. He doesn't deserve that to be one of the highest paid players in the world. He's an average footballer. The only reason he's making such money, one, he has a British passport and he came from Manchester United Academy. If that was a foreign player, we all saw how people like Paul Pogba, Anthony Martial, we saw how they were criticized. We saw it. How, especially Anthony Martial, was labeled as a lazy football player. We saw it. And another man that need to leave that team is Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw is always injured. This guy, he has been fit for Manchester United for only 3 weeks in 2024. You can't be making over 100 grand a week, more than 100,000 pounds a week, but you are not available. You are not available to play. And Manchester United is not a charity foundation. People should be stealing or living. Just imagine, if I stay home for a year, go to work only 2 weeks, and I get $50,000, $60,000. Is that fair? No. Lucia is stealing or living. They should terminate a contract whatsoever. I mean, these players, right? Someone that get 4-3-year contract, they injure, they still take pay. They still make their money. Something should be inserted, or clause should be inserted in that contract that if you are not available for so amount of game, we can terminate your contract without paying you off. I think the clubs, they need to protect themselves. Because people like Lucia, you know, in him or being, but no, it's not a charity organization for you to be on a bench too or in hospital stealing or living. This is the same reason Manchester United got rid of Anthony Martial, because the last 2 seasons he was always injured. So they should also get rid of Luke Shaw. I don't have no sympathy for him. The game on Sunday, I think it's going to be a hard game. I think we're going to win 2-1 because we're not ready scoring right now. We're not scoring enough goals. And we don't need no individual error like yesterday. Yesterday's game was a very crazy game. A lot of individual errors. And in the long run, I don't think Lisandro Martinez will be a long-term plan. He will not be in the coach long-term plan because he is making a lot of errors. His last few games against Nottingham Forest, he made errors in that game that led to goal. Yesterday, game. He made two errors. The second goal and the third goal was his fault. And I think they receive Maguire didn't play Sunday. Maguire going to start. Delayed two didn't play. Delayed and Maguire going to start Sunday. I don't think Lisandro Martinez is in Manchester United long-term plan. And 2-1 to Manchester United. That's my prediction. We move on to the next game. Tottenham Hotspur versus Liverpool at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And Liverpool, their last two games in the Premier League, they drew 3-3 at Newcastle. They drew at home 2-2 to Fulham. So, can they get back to winning ways on Sunday at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium? The last 5 meetings between the two clubs, Tottenham Hotspur 1 win in their last 5 games in the Premier League against Liverpool. Liverpool 3 wins, 1 draw. So Liverpool have the edge over Tottenham when it comes to record. But Liverpool last 5 games in the Premier League, they won 3, they draw 2. For Spurs, on the other hand, they won 2, lost 2, draw 1. So, Mr. Colin, let me come to you. You being a Liverpool fan, their last 2 games in the Premier League, they draw all 2. Can they get back to winning ways on Sunday?
Yes, they can. I know for sure Liverpool will get back to winning way. We saw their game with Fulham. It was a tricky match. The start of that game, where Liverpool conceded an early minute goal and then conceded a red card, that changed the dynamic of that game. It changed the game plan. All right. But that doesn't mean that Liverpool cannot get back on winning way. The game with Newcastle at the St. James's Park is a tough ground that anybody can go and struggle there. So it was 2 tricky matches that they played in succession, and they managed to pull out a draw. But they know, Liverpool know, if they want to continue being up there, they got to get back on winning way, and they got to do it this weekend. All right. They reserve a couple of players during the midweek. They reserve Mo Salah, a couple of guys. Ryan Gravenberg was also reserved. Van Dijk, the goalkeeper, those guys was reserved for this game. It's a tough and challenging match. They need to win again to get back a winning way, and they need to win it to remain on top of the table. It's not a big deal if Chelsea go on top of the table. We still got a long way to go to the end of the season. Um, the Chelsea in question, Manchester City in question, Arsenal, they all got game with Liverpool. Those games result will determine who going to top the table, who going to be in the lead as well. So it's I don't see it as big deal because everybody started the league the same time. Let's say the same weekend. So if you lost, somebody is ahead of you, and you try to recover, it shouldn't be a big news. That what happened to Chelsea? Chelsea struggled, to drop a lot of points, and now they're winning. So it's obvious winning. If you win it consistently, it will get you up there. All right, you win it consistently, it can get you somewhere. So if Chelsea win again on Saturday, they go on top of the table. Liverpool also have game in hand. They also have the opportunity to win again and go on top of the table. I know the Tottenham Spurs game is a tough game. They play brilliantly against tough side this season. We are seeing it. We are seeing it so many times. But with the kind of performances Liverpool had put on this season, even those games that they drew, we saw the kind of football they play. All right. They were just unfortunate. Like the Newcastle game, they were just unfortunate to draw that game. The same with Fulham. All right. They played 10 against 11 for over 60 minutes. You got to be a very good team to stand that, to go against Tottenham Spurs with one shot. you got to be good. Your team got to be good to put. So they played a very difficult matches in succession in the Premier League, which is Newcastle game and the Fulham game. So we know um, Spurs got a very good attacking force. They're good on the break. They got some good guys in the midfield, but Spurs don't have a defense. So from my point of view, you carry that defense, you carry a makeshift defense against Liverpool, where you're gonna get buried because those guys up front there, they are deadly. When they coming at you, they're not just coming one time and then they're sick. They're gonna keep coming all the time. We've seen it so many times this season. Mo Salah and Jota is back. He's one of the good finishers for Liverpool. All right, Jota is back. Those guys, all of them in a very good shape. When you talk about Liverpool attack, Salah, Jota, um, Capo, and Luis Diaz, they are all in a very good shape when it comes to attacking wise. And Liverpool midfield is very solid. So if you look at player to player description and performances and team performances, there's no way you would come out to say Tottenham Spurs is going to win again. It's a football match, a match that can happen, but let's be realistic. With the performances of Liverpool this season, the kind of good run they're having, the kind of tough matches they play, and they survive it, they control those games and create so many chances and score goals. My prediction for that game is going to be a lot of goals tomorrow because Tottenham Spurs is also an attacking team. They like to go for goals. So that game is going to be 3-1 in favor of Liverpool tomorrow.
All right, thank you very much. 3-1 to Liverpool. And Filippo Inzaghi, Sunday, Liverpool, they will be at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London to face Tottenham. They have drawn their last two games in the Premier League, but the best goalkeeper in the Premier League who plays for Liverpool, he's back. Alisson. And looking at Tottenham Hotspur, defensively, they are awful. As you saw the game in the Carabao Cup last night, I call it goalkeeping disaster class because the two goalkeepers last night, they were dreadful, absolutely dreadful. This is why many Manchester United fans have been asking why the coach don't use that guy for the Carabao Cup game, and the coach answered Manchester United fans' question last night. The guy is a very terrible goalkeeper. They should just rip a contract off in January. Tottenham Hotspur too, their goalkeeper is out, and their second goalkeeper is very terrible too. So, what's your take for the game tomorrow? Sunday, excuse me.
Yeah, Sunday game, Tottenham, their, their, their best defender now, which is Sergio Romero, he is injured. And Tottenham can only score, only 4 but they cannot defend. They can be Lily a team 2-0, 3-0. If he continue putting pressure, he can still grab them. But Liverpool, even though they are two Premier League games they've gone down, but they still need points. And they begin an open game for the both teams. And Liverpool want to go ahead, so the Chelsea should not get close to them. But my prediction is Liverpool going
Come
to win
again.
once.
1-0?
Yes.
1-0 to Liverpool. For me, it's gonna be a difficult game because Spurs, anytime they meet a big team, they raise their game and they get a very good midfield. Basuma, Papesa, James Madison, a very good attack. Kulusevski, Dominic Solanke, and Son Heung-min. If you look at the 6 guys from the midfield to the top, they are excellent. But their major problem is at the back, especially in the center. Their center defense is dreadful. And the goalkeeper is also a basement. So that's going to be a major problem Sunday for them. Because Liverpool team on the break, they are the best in the Premier League on the break. Luis Diaz, Mo Salah, Nunes, or Jota is back. So probably they're going to use Jota, Mo Salah, and Luis Diaz. On the break, they are very, very dangerous. They also have a good Mayfield, Gravenberg, Sobosla, and McAllister. They are very, very good. A very good defender, very good goalkeeper. So Spurs will score because their foul line is good, but I think Liverpool going to win this game. And the way Spurs play with a very high, they play with a high line, just like Barcelona. They play that high line on Sunday against Liverpool, they're going to get punished. So Spurs 1, Liverpool 3. No, 4. 4-1 to Liverpool. I think they're going to press Spurs aside. That's what I see. It's going to be a high scoring game. Tottenham 1, Liverpool 4. That's my prediction. So we now go on to the next game. Real Madrid will be at home to Sevilla. They have the opportunity to get back to winning ways. They drew their last game 3-3 in La Liga. Even though they won an international trophy, they won 3-0 in May week. But La Liga returned this weekend, and Real Madrid, they are in action at home to Sevilla. The last 5 meeting in La Liga with Sevilla and Real Madrid. Madrid, they won 4 of their last 5 games with Sevilla, and they draw 1. So Sevilla gets 0 win against Real Madrid in their last 5 meetings in La Liga. But Sevilla, their last 5 games in La Liga, they won 2, draw 1, lost 2. Madrid, last 5 games in La Liga, they won 3, 1 defeat, 1 draw. So, Inzaghi, on Sunday, Madrid, if Barcelona and Atletico Madrid draw, Madrid have the opportunity to go top of La Liga on Sunday. What's your take on that game?
2-0 for Madrid.
2-0 for Madrid. Okay, Filippo Inzaghi said 2-0 to Madrid. And for me, it's going to be a tough match because Sevilla, they have a very good team, but I think Madrid will be strong for them. And a lot of players coming back. Vinny Jr., he will be 100% match fit because I think his last 2 games, he hasn't been match fit. So he struggled a little bit in games. But for Sunday, with Rodrigo, Vinny, Jude, Kylian, I think Madrid will be too strong for Sevilla. I can see Madrid winning 3-1. That's my prediction. Madrid going to win 3-1. So, people in Zaghi, you guys won today. AC Milan, you won 1-0 today. And tomorrow we'll have some games in your league. We have Torino, they are home to Bologna. Genoa are home to Napoli, Lecce, and Lazio. So tell me about Genoa and Napoli game. What's your take on Genoa and Napoli?
Napoli going to be.
Napoli going to win? Why you think Napoli will win? They playing away to Genoa.
Because Napoli is a contender and they have been excellent this season. They just few points between there and Atalanta. So they are performing well this season.
So Atalanta at home to Empoli on Sunday. What's
They
your
are
take
talking
on
about
that?
Napoli now. I say they are performing this season. They are one of the contenders in the league. So
Okay.
they want to do out all means to do something this season so they can defend their championship like what they do 2022.
No,
They,
but
they, all-
they are not a defending champion though.
yes, I know. I said before during the time Victor Osimhen came and
All
they
right, thank you.
simulate.
Okay. That means we'll come back to you. Mr. Connor, you went off. We're talking about the Madrid game. Madrid at home to Sevilla and a Barcelona and Atletico Madrid. They share the point on Saturday. Madrid will have the chance to go top of La Liga. So, what's your take on the game on Sunday? Madrid
Uh,
versus Sevilla.
Real Madrid they've been doing some good things this season. All right, so it's a chance for Madrid to go up front. It's a good chance for Madrid to go up because any result from that game would be good for Madrid because those two teams are playing. They all kind of um, neck to neck with Real Madrid is right now at the table of the La Liga. If you look at it, Madrid sitting third place, Atletico Madrid on second place. I know they still got a game in hand. Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid have played the same numbers of games. So if those two teams win that outstanding game, if those two teams win, if those two teams win that outstanding games, um, Barcelona is not even going to be first or second place. They're going to be at third place. So if Barcelona win tomorrow, it's still good for Real Madrid because Real Madrid will go back to second place if they win again against Sevilla. And if Atletico Madrid does win again as well, and Madrid win again against Sevilla, it will still put Madrid second place and Barcelona will be going third place. So either result for those two teams, any result from that game is a good result for Real Madrid. Um, we saw Madrid gain in the international cup against the Mexican side. It's not a tough side, a European side they're going against, but you could see that Real Madrid is trying to galvanize themselves. They're trying to get that 14 to for those guys to play together. We saw Valencia, we saw Kylian Mbappe, Jude Bellingham, and Rodrigo. And Madrid need all those guys that he need. Madrid need the best from all those guys in. All right, they need their best performance. They need them to be on top of that game. This will make Real Madrid season great. And I think they're getting to that point. All right, I think they're getting to that point. It's a tough match this weekend as well. Let's see how that game will go. But from what I saw, the coordination I saw from those guys up front, their last game, it was beautiful. It was good because they need that. Um, that game is going to be a tough one, but at the end of the day, Madrid is going to win it because they just won their second trophy for the season. They just won a second trophy of the season. So that gave them a confidence. That gave them a lot of boost that they can do more. They can win more this season going to the Sevilla game. And it starts from the Sevilla game if you want to win something, especially in La Liga, because it will be a lot of turning point this weekend. The results from Barcelona and Atletico Madrid game will determine Madrid uh, next position on the table. So you don't have to concentrate on the result. I know they're going to play before that, but you got to win your game to get in a better position of going forward in the season. So that game is not going to be too much good. It's going to be a tough one because Sevilla they ain't going to sit back. They're going to come. Uh, what happened to them against Atletico Madrid. They don't want that to repeat itself from the Sevilla perspective. They're going to come, they want to get something out of that game, and they're looking at Madrid weakness of this season. They want to capitalize on that. They don't have a tough defense. They don't have a very good midfield. The players are there, but they are underperforming most of those guys. So they want to take advantage of that to get in a better position to go and attack Madrid because we saw a lot of games that Madrid struggled in the backline. But my prediction for that game is 2-1 in favor of Madrid. No matter how tough it becomes, at the end of the day, Madrid is going to win that game 2-1. See you, mute them without, can't hear you.
Let's go to the rest of the game in the Premier League. Fulham on Sunday will be at home to Southampton. What's your prediction, Mr. Corner, for that game?
400 to Southampton, I give that to 400, 2-1 in favor of 400.
Fulham too. What about Leicester City at home to Wolves?
1-0 to Wolves.
1-0 to Wolves. Philip Inzaghi.
Yeah.
Fulham versus Southampton. What's your prediction?
2-0.
To
Fulham.
who? Fulham?
Fulham. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Fulham going to win 3-1. That's my prediction. What about Leicester City at home to Wolves?
1-0. Leicester.
To who?
Leicester will be 1-0.
Leicester 1-0. I think that game going to be 2-1 to Leicester City. So let's just talk about, let me just bring something up. I just want to hear your opinion on it. There's this guy from Chelsea called Modric. You know Modric, right? From Chelsea.
Mikhailo Modric.
That's
Yeah.
the number 10.
Yeah, okay. He was suspended for taking performance enhancing drugs, and he said he didn't know what he was taking. And for me, if this guy has been taking something to enhance his performance and he has been absolutely dreadful, so I don't know what kind of drug is that you taking drugs for you to perform, but yet you have been very, very terrible, very, very abysmal in the Chelsea jersey. Since his transfer to Chelsea, January this year, he has been terrible. So, Mr. Koda, what's your take on that? A player taking drugs to enhance his performance, but yet he's terrible.
The first thing you got to establish a fight when this guy started taking the enhanced performance drugs. If it is true, I do believe that they check those guys after some time, and he been there over a season now. So if you're taking it from the onset, how long he been taking it? All right, I saw the interview. He said he didn't even know that it was enhanced stuff. He haven't taken it before, but it's obvious. Once the guy then go, they find positive with that kind of stuff. They always want to come say something to justify it. But if he was doing that in order to improve a performance there, and it's not working for him, what's the essence of he taking it? All right. Before going to Chelsea, he was a good player. He was playing some brilliant football. I just don't know what happened, and I do believe what happened to some of those guys when they go to bigger club. It's too much pressure. They want to impress. The money they were transferred for, what they're getting paid for, and they already at the bigger club, one of the bigger club. So their performance just drag. We see a lot of players that go to those big clubs and they just start underperforming. At the end of the day, they got to loan them, or you just lost the contract and just sell you cheaply to one of those clubs. It happened to so many players, especially for him. He was young, and um, brilliant player. He got so many talent. He got so many skills. Just to see him go to Chelsea and he can't play, it kind of shocked him. Something might be the problem. We don't really know his inner issue, but we relate to the drugs stuff. I don't think those things can be fake. Once you find, positive, it's obvious you're taking some sort of drugs that brought you to book. So unfortunate for him, he got to serve the punishment. We've seen a lot of players that went through that, so it's not a good sign for him. He's not already performing, and that happened. It might kill the game. All right, that could be his Chelsea career end. It could be the end for him. You know, so hopefully, when he goes through his punishment, he should be able to get back on top of the game and start playing good football. But it's not good for young players.
All right, thank you very much. So, what's your parting comment? Then this guy myself thought 5 million for Serie A.
Yeah, it's a big weekend, both the Premier League and the La Liga, because there is a chance for new new person to top the table. In the Premier League, Chelsea do have the chance if they win again to go on top of the Premier League for the very first time. And the same with La Liga. If Atletico Madrid win her game, they'll be going on top of the table. So it's a big weekend for the two bigger league in European football, or world footballing. So we look forward to seeing what's going to happen tomorrow and Sunday. Um, I just heard my team Real Madrid, despite it, regardless the results of Atletico Madrid and Barcelona game, they should just keep focused, keep to that, stick to that game plan, and make sure them pull out a win against Sevilla. The same goes to Liverpool. All right, it's a tough match with Spurs. Spurs got some brilliant guys in their squad. The Jim Madison, Son, they got Kolosevsky, they got some good players. Even those two African guys in the midfield, they are very instrumental. They're playing good games and they're on top of their game right now. So Liverpool, keep your head up high, go to that game, do your number thing, get the 3 points, and wait for the next game. So we look forward. We look forward to seeing how the weekend will go in both La Liga and the Premier League. And thank you guys for being here. It was wonderful sharing the platform with you guys tonight. And I hope we meet here at the end of the week or Monday evening as well to discuss some issues about world football.
All right, thank you very much.
Uh,
Uh, Inzaghi, let's go back to the Serie A. So, you were saying, you were talking about, what's it, Napoli, right?
Napoli. Yes.
Yeah, so just continue from where you stopped.
Say Napoli is one of the contenders this season. They are doing their best because not just 2 years ago they just carry Serie A this and so they have that momentum to add it up. Now they have, I think they have something the 2 point difference between they and Atalanta. And when they beat tomorrow,
As you can
they
see the
go.
table.
Mm-hmm. So when they beat tomorrow, they're going to tap Atalanta with 1 point. Because if one Atalanta they beat Atalanta, then definitely they are on the table. So I believe that Napoli is in the lead, and I'll give them the priority of beating tomorrow. Yeah, I give them
So, what's your take on the Atalanta and Empoli game? Atalanta will be home on Sunday.
I, I, I said 2-1.
2-1 to Atalanta.
Mm, Napoli, Atalanta,
Atalanta
eh,
will be at home.
Atalanta will beat too.
Or Filippo
Atalanta,
Inzaghi,
Atalanta will beat 2-1.
as you can see, your team AC Milan 7
Yeah.
plays, 26 points, 16 game play. And I think both teams gonna win. The two team, let me say the top three gonna win this weekend. Atalanta, Napoli, and Inter Milan because they are strong. Like this going weekend, what's it weekend or May week? Inter Milan defeated SS Lazio 6 goals to 0. And when Arsenal fans, when they are asking if they sack Ateta, which coach should they bring? They say they don't have any good coach right now available. I'm like, why are people there to joke like Ateta is some kind of good coach? He has won nothing.
Yes.
Ateta has won nothing apart from the FA Cup, 5 years, nothing. You have Simone Inzaghi, who is a better coach than him. Even Gasperini from Napoli is a better coach than Ateta. They have so many coaches that are better tactically than Mikel Arteta. And this is the problem with Arsenal fan base. They can flip flop like the way they flip flopping after Jesus scored hat trick in the Carabao Cup. They are saying they don't need a striker. Jesus can start for them at the weekend. And thank you for coming, people in Zaki. We'll be back here on Sunday to give our post-match reaction to all the games in the Premier League and Real Madrid game and Barcelona game also. So thank you very much, my brother. I'll see you Sunday.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
all right, thank you. And before we go, if you are not yet subscribed, please, the link is in the description. Please go there, subscribe. The link is there. Subscribe to the Football Heritage. The link is in the description. And thank you very much to those that will be listening later. I want to say thank you. Continue with the platform. Your subscription will help this platform to grow. So we'll be back here on Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Uh, uh, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, sorry, 5 p.m. Central Time, and 3 p.m. West Coast Time, 11 p.m. Liberian Time, 9 p.m. 1 a.m. East African Time. If you are in Tanzania, you are in Kenya, because a lot of our people that can watch later, they are from Kenya and Tanzania. Thank you very much for watching a game. And please encourage your family member, encourage your friends to subscribe to the Football Heritage. The link is always in the description. So you guys can have a blessed night. Peace. I'm all here.